My name is Travis, and in this tutorial, I'll be walking you through Lens Studio's animated object template. The animated object template allows you to add a 3D animated object to the world. Let's dive in. First, open Lens Studio and select the animated object template to create the new template project. The template has example content already in place to help you understand how the template works. I'm going to walk through how we imported this content into the template. So, to start, I'm going to delete the example content labeled Replace Me in the Objects panel and Remove Me in the Resources panel. Next, I'm going to switch over to Maya to export my 3D model. In Maya, I have a 3D model that I'm ready to export for use in Lens Studio. Some things to note before exporting. Your model should be 10,000 triangles or less for best performance on low-end devices. Also, models in Lens Studio need to be triangulated, which we'll be enabling in the export process. To export, first select the objects you wish to export in the outliner, and then select File, Export Selection. Then, make sure FBX is selected. In the export window, make sure Tangents and Binormals and Triangulate are selected. Under Animation, make sure Animation is enabled. Under Deform Models, make sure Deform Models, Skins, and Blend Shapes are enabled. And under Constraints, make sure Constraints and Skeleton Definitions are enabled. Then, click Export. For more information on exporting 3D models, follow our 3D Object Export Guides. The guides are broken out by different software packages, including Maya, Blender, and Cinema 4D. Now, let's switch back to Lens Studio to import our model. To import your model, go to the Lens Studio menu bar and select File and Import. Navigate to your exported FBX and select it. The model will now appear in your scene and in your Resources panel. For this model, I'm going to create a new PBR material by selecting Add New, Material, and PBR. Then, I'm going to import the textures we created in Substance Painter into my project by dragging them into the Resources panel. Next, I'm going to link all the textures to the newly created PBR material. Specifically, the base, normal, and material params texture. Now, in the Objects panel, I'm going to select my imported mesh. And in the Inspector panel, I'm going to set the material to the newly created PBR material. Lens Studio also supports non-PBR materials like Unlit, Diffuse, and Lambert. Now, I need to associate my imported model to the World Object Controller. To do this, simply drag the imported object to be a child of World Object Controller. Scale your object so that it fits nicely in the preview window. Also, scale the touch collision object to match the scale of your object. This will define the area for touch manipulation. Next, we need to link the animation to the World Object Controller. After selecting the World Object Controller, in the inspector, find the Animation Mixer parameter in the idle anim script. Click here and select your imported object's animation mixer. Then, set the idle anim layer to whatever you named your animation layer. You can find the name by selecting the animation mixer in your objects window. You now have a Snapchat-ready world lens. In the preview panel, click Refresh, which updates the lens. Here, you'll be able to see how the lens looks and even drag it around to preview the touch manipulation. To enable shadows on your object, select your mesh objects in the Objects panel, and in the Inspector panel, set the shadow mode to kaster. Tune the shadow density slider to create a softer shadow. Finally, let's preview our lens in Snapchat. To do this, click Pair Your Device in the top right corner of Lens Studio. Then, open Snapchat and scan the provided snap code. Make sure your device and computer are on the same Wi-Fi network. Depending on your network, this might take up to 30 seconds to connect. Once Snapchat and Lens Studio are connected, press the Push Lens to Device button. You can now preview your lens inside Snapchat. This lens is now ready for submission. For more information on submitting your lens, follow the submission guide in the Lens Studio documentation. Thanks for watching, and have fun creating your own Snapchat lenses.